Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you as always is your host, Tricky, and now his long-awaited return. Welcome back, my co-host, Holty. How are we, mate?
Oh, very good, very good. Just been busy and just keep myself alive and well and happy. That's all.
Yeah, it's good to hear, mate. Now, lots to talk about today, but before we do, we both had an interesting weekend, I believe. How did you go in? You were in the city, I believe?
Yes, I was. It was interesting stuff.
Would you like to elaborate? What'd you get up to and what were you down there for?
I was down in the city for old tip rat Alex Canal's V-Day.
How was it?
And it was good, not bad. I didn't go to the after party, which was joining into the SB. I came home because I had family things the next day, but I went to this Italian restaurant, which immediately put a hole at the bottom of my bank account. Money was just pouring out. It was very good. Got myself a pizza and a nice bottle of wine. Yes.
Now, it's funny you mentioned the SB. So at first, I started off, it was probably Wednesday night, and I was just at the gym, and a couple of my mates rocked up, and they literally just came up to me. I was with JP. Came up to me and
Oh,
JP, and he goes, they're like, what are you doing Saturday night? I'm like, nothing. Why, what's up? He goes, we're getting a booth to Secret Garden. Would you like to come along and get a table of 10? And I
yes.
was like, yes, why not? Why not? So we went to Secret Garden. Actually bumped into some Pearsdale boys. So that was interesting. And then had a chat with them. But the best part was, the cocktails are flowing. I was enjoying my time. And then, well, it was obviously a 2 hour, you get a 2 hour, I think it was 7 to 9 we booked it for. And my mate Hodgie was like, I was like, oh, surely we can go on an SB. He goes, oh, yeah,
Oh,
bloody oath.
that's
Bloody
dangerous
oath. Bloody
territory.
oath. Bloody oath. And then he's off his chops, and he's like to everyone who hasn't been to SB, I'll show you a good time in the SB. Just follow my way. I'll show you a good time in the SB. So here we go. On the way to the SB, Hodgie leading the way. Get to the line. Hodgie, how much you had to drink, mate? Oh, not that much. So the
Oh,
person who was supposed to be showing us a good time is the only one out of the group of 10 who got knocked back entry.
oh, that's not good.
And
Oh,
then we're just like, oh, yeah, good time in the SB. You going to show us, Hodgie, or what? You going to show us?
oh
And he's just like,
no.
nah, they're scared of a good time. They're scared of a good time. I'm like, mate, no, you're not. So we ended up heading off to Chapel Street for a bit.
Oh no. I've
So,
had fond memories there.
yeah, so I headed off to Chapel Street for a bit. And then, yeah, then headed home. I got home probably about 2:30. So it wasn't too bad, but
Oh, very good. Sounds very good, but I'll be the judge of a good night at the SB. I'll tell you that right now.
yeah, that would have been a lot better if we got into the SB. Then we wouldn't have to get the Uber to the chapel. But I was just like, how has he not got in, but we all have? I'm just like, we've been drinking the same amount. But anyways. Now, first, before we get into the footy talk, let's discuss. We are the Test champions.
We are World Test Champions for 2023, and I tell you what, the Indian fans aren't happy about it.
Oh no, they're not.
Oh, geez, there's scandals coming everywhere for the Aussies. They're pulling them out of their asses. You've got apparently a Pakistan past cricketer was saying on Twitter that apparently we were scandaling with the ball again or tampering
Yeah,
with
that'd be
it,
right. That'd
and
be right. That'd be
that'd
right.
be right. And Cameron Green's dropped catch apparently, even though he caught it before his hand hit the ground. And gee whiz, it's all happening. But that's what happens in
There's
sport.
been fines put out. Did you see this?
Oh, is there ever? We will get into that shortly.
Let me load up. There was a lot of fines. So at first, it was 8 hours ago. Shubman Gill, he's the opener, isn't he? Shubman Gill, the opener,
Yes.
fined 15%, sorry, of his match fee for his criticism of the green catch.
Yep.
Then we go to 2 hours ago. India's fined entire match fee for slow over rates.
Yep. And they were bad, slow over rates too.
And then us Aussies, were also fined 80% of our match fees for our slow over rates. So
Yep.
fines getting thrown left, right, and centre there.
Oh, it's definitely a controversial cricket match, but in the end, we got the W and they got the L.
I had no idea when we were in the Maxi on the way to Secret Garden. One of the boys says, "Oh, it's a 6-day test," and I said, "What?" Apparently, it's a 6-day test for the World Championship final or some shit.
No,
That's what one of him said, and I said, "No, it can't be, can it?"
no,
Unless they just have
5 days.
that. Maybe they have that 6-day case like weather interrupts or something. So there's a result.
Of course, it's a grand final.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But he mentioned 6 days. I'm like, surely not.
No way. That'd probably be a reserve day, but
yeah. What do you think of Rohit Sharma saying it should be a 3-match series?
Disagree.
Yep.
Yeah, disagree entirely. One match only. See who's the better team, and they weren't the better team. So I reckon they just need to stop sooking and just take their loss. Simple as that. That's a team sport game. You win, you lose, and they lost. So suck shit.
Well, I believe they lost when they won the toss and elected to bowl. Wouldn't you want the runs on the board in a final?
No, I reckon it was a great decision for them to go with the bowl first because it was a very, very green pitch and the ball was actually doing a lot, and I reckon that was a great decision. But the bowlers just appeared to not move the ball and treat the ball as well as what they should do with the pitch. So that was it.
And obviously, so Australia in the first innings made 469. Travis Head, what an innings that was. 163 from 175 balls with 25 fours. And then Smudgy Smith also put up 121 from 268. They had a 275-run partnership there.
Oh, fantastic. When those two set sail, they really go off into the sunset by making runs, and they did it quite well and cemented us a nice path for us to execute their bowling.
Then Mohammed is it Siraj or Siraj? Siraj, sorry. We're 4 for 108. He was the leading wicket taker. Now for the Indians, they were in trouble early, but if it wasn't for Ajinkya Rahane making 89, they would have been in a lot more trouble. That's a really good innings, I thought. So they ended up making 296. Skipper Pat Cummins leading the wickets with 3 for 83. Do you want to take the second innings?
Yes, the second innings, we had Australia 8 wickets down, making 270 and also declaring 8 wickets down for that score as well, with Carey with a nice strong innings of 66 not out, as well as the other help of Mitchell Starc that was there too, making a handy 30 or 40 odd.
Yeah, that was 40 odd,
Paddy Cummins, just as usual, just can't hold the stick. And Ravindra, I can't say his last name, Jadeja, and he got a nice handy 3 for 58 off 23. That is exceptional bowling from that young man. And the second innings for India, and my God, they did come out blazing. They put us to the boundaries as well with Mitchell Starc and Scotty Boland starting off expensive, but he tightened things up with Virat Kohli with 49 off 78 and Nathan Lyon doing what a goat does and 4 for 41 off 15 and a half overs, and Scotty Boland, my God, he will cement his spot in the team no matter if Hazelwood is injured or not. 3 for 46 off 16.
Yeah, he has to play in the Ashes. He has to play.
Question tricky. Jim Brayshaw and Justin Langer, as well as I think it was Ricky Ponting, was at one of the lunchtime shows when there was a lunch break, had this segment where it was called "Wait, Yes or No," and the question was, does Scott Boland get picked for every squad in advance for every Test match? And every single one of them said no.
Really?
Every single one of them reckons Josh Hazelwood is far better and will get picked over Scott Boland. Do you agree or disagree?
I'd like to say that a fit Josh Hazelwood is very important to our Aussie bowling attack, but he just can't get his body right. So you got to back the performance of Scotty Boland.
Absolutely, and I don't reckon he has done a foot wrong at all.
Exactly.
He bowls that right area, and that's what a placement bowler or a seam bowler does. So he's done his role, and I reckon he should continue to get picked in every squad.
Yeah,
simple as that, and a Victorian fan as well. So,
and Obviously, player of the match also was Travis Head for his magnificent
Oh,
knock.
of course, of course.
And before we get into our footy talk, just like to congratulate and announce, well, not announce, but the NBA Championship Final. You had Denver Nuggets taking home the series with a 4-1 win. So it's a big convincing win there. So for all your NBA followers out there, there's a little mention. I know they've been wanting some stuff. So ulted. But then let's get into our footy talk, eh?
Yes.
Thursday night. So we had Sydney versus St Kilda. Sydney 9-12-66 defeated by St Kilda's 12-8-80. Goal kickers, you had Buddy kicking 2, Papley kicking 2, Gordon, Campbell, Clark and Lloyd. For the Saints, you had King with 3, Owens and Butler with 2, Wanganeen, Malira, Philippou, Caminiti, Higgins and Sharman all with the 1. For disposals of the Swans, you had Ollie Florent with 34, 90 steps and 676 metres gained. Crouch had 33, Sinclair 32, 7 clearances, 6 score involvements and 607 metres gained. While Wanganeen Malira, who I think is really, really coming on with age, he's only, 20 years old. He had 30 with 9 marks and 8 intercepts. Talking points is Thursday night footy is back, but it wasn't with a bang.
Oh, no, it was not. That was a very below average game, I reckon, as in golf terms, actually, you know what? In golf terms, under par is good. So I'm going to say over par because it was shit. And the first quarter of that game, how bad was it?
Oh, it's one of the worst footies you've seen for a while, that first quarter.
And in the last 2 minutes, Sydney decides to go defensive and kick it in the back half of the ground and didn't attempt to score. So it was 0-7 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
good.
It wasn't pretty, was it, mate?
No, it was not at all. And Lance Franklin moved to 4th spot overall in the all-time goal kicking with 1,059 goals, overtaking the beloved Geelong Doug Wade.
How good has Buddy's career just been overall? It's just a magnificent player.
It's been great. It's been fantastic. He's done what he needs to do as a forward.
This will be his last season. I'm proud to say that we've been able to watch Buddy through his whole career. It's been within our. You don't agree?
I reckon he can go one more.
One more, you reckon?
Oh, absolutely. All he has to, as we say, he's probably the only forward in the game that's probably been playing since the old-fashionable days of where he was that a full forward is a full forward, and I reckon he can go one more.
That's very interesting that you say that.
He can stay in that 50 or just in that forward half of the ground, just keep going. He's got a booming kick on him still, so I reckon he can do it.
It's a very big call. I'm sure Cause will be very proud of that. Obviously, that's his favourite player ever, I believe, Buddy Franklin. So Rowan Marshall also dominating the ruck with 50 hit-outs, 16 disposals and 7 tackles. He's really becoming a dominant player in that ruck.
I couldn't believe how many hit-outs he hit till I actually had to fact-check that.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, incredible.
And then
with Dan Butler has been offered 1 match suspension.
Cross that out. He's been cleared.
Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing, and I loved his comment as well, as this is a little bit of a halty grub files here. I was going to slam the hammer and say he's off, which he is, and I loved his comment as well, which was, I think the tribunal or the MRO asked him what was another decision that he could have done instead of tackling Nick Blakey, and I think Dan Butler responded with, well, if I didn't tackle him, I would have been dropped. So that's your answer. At
the same time, it's probably not the best professional answer you should be saying in a tribunal room.
It's the factual answer.
It's the factual answer. But at the same time, Dad did stay with me at the same time. They could turn around and say, well, you need to go back to your coach and tell him this is the way we're tackling right now, and he needs to adapt the way he's coaching the tackling.
Yes, absolutely. And then with injuries as well, we had Blakey with the head from that tackle.
I think it got it changed to a toe, I believe. He's got an injury
toe. Toe. Different part of the body.
Yeah, so Friday night, mate. Now, this was a better game. You can take this one. Wasn't this a good game?
Oh, was it ever? For Western Bulldogs, Footscray and Port Adelaide Powder. 13-7, 85 defeated by the Powder. 16-11, 107 with goal kickers for the Footscray Dogs, with Waitman with 3, Ugelhagen with 2, the astronaut Bjorn Borg with 2, English Bontempelli, Daniel West, Trelaw and McRae all with 1. And then my favourite, Charlie Dixon with a monstering 4 goals. Marshall with just the lazy 2, and then Pell, Salt and Pepper with 2, Finn Layson with 2, Horn Francis, the Shimboner with 2, and then McGentry with 2, Rosie, Brownlow Man, and Butters, also another Brownlow contention, all with 1. And then with the disposals for the Footscray Dogs, we had Trelaw with 34, Liberatore with 34, Bontempelli with 31, just a lazy 9 clearances, 7 score involvements and 6 tackles, with Dale with 30 as well. And then Daniel with 29 with 7 score involvements. And then with old Bailey Sniff with 28 and 7 clearances as well. And then we had Butters with 2 goal assists, 31 touches, 11 score involvements and 6 clearances. And Boak just doing what the old timer does with 27 touches. Tricky talking points.
Port make it 10 in a row. What does this say now? They are a serious threat and contender.
Well, yeah, with an average start to the season and getting criticised left, right, centre on social media and putting pressure on Ken Inkley, he's sort of turning around and proving a point.
Yeah, 100% he has. And Cody Waitman and Charlie Dixon kicked 3 each in the first quarter. It was just a goal sheet off. How good was it to watch?
That's what a forward's meant to do, and I love it. And they're both in my pub, and I'm liking it. So I'm teaching them what to do.
Did you see Horn Francis as last goal in the last quarter? How good of a pickup off the ground was it? And then it sealed the game. It was just class.
I'm telling you, you got to respect the Horn Francis, because he does some really good things and he can win you a game, as for the example he has just shown on Friday night.
And I wrote, is Bont in trouble for his bump on Dan Houston, but he has been cleared. So now we've moved to Saturday. Now, here we go. First game on the Saturday. We got the Hawks versus Brisbane.
I'd like Connor to read this one out.
We got some voice
Something wrong with Hawthorn. They won't win a game ever again.
Hawthorn 15-8-98 defeated Brisbane, who I tipped to win the flag, if you remember. 11-7-73 by 25 points. Goal kickers, you had Lewis with 4, Kaziski with 3, and Connor McDonald, geez, didn't he have a good game with 2 goals?
Oh, he did.
Butler 2, Moore 2, Bruce and Meek. For the Lions, you had Hipple with 4, Rayner, Cameron both with 2, then McCarthy, Dunkley and Ashcroft with the 1. Disposals, you had Sicily with 32, Warper with 30, Newcomb with 28, 3 goal assists, 11 score involvements and 9 inside 50s. And the person I talked about before, McDonald, had 28 touches to go with 2 goals, 3 goal assists and 12 score involvements. Impey had the 28 and Day had 27 with 6 clearances. Neil had 30 and Dunkley had 28 with 11 tackles and 8 clearances. Talking points. Tristan.
Hawks make it 3 wins from their last 4 games. I find that extraordinary, and they're managing to do it, and I don't know how. So passing it over to you.
Oh, geez. It's just magnificent, isn't it? Like, to watch how they managed to do this, because I did tip them for the wooden spoon at the start of the year as well. So
yeah, I think they would have been close to the wooden spoon, but they're finding their way out of it, I reckon. And also Sicily in trouble for his tackle on Hugh McCluggage. I'm going to say
he's been sent straight to the tribunal.
I'm going to say he's in a bit of trouble.
They reckon if you go by the code, it's a minimum 3 weeks.
Oh, jeez. Well, insight to the grub files, he's a grub, ultimate grub.
Josh Dunkley.
Josh Dunkley, yes, go ahead.
Kicks his first goal as a line. Geez, didn't they get around him?
Really? His first goal as a line?
Yeah, it's his first goal as a line, because I was listening to the Triple M commentary, and they're like, was there a reason they got around him? And they're like, first goal as a line. And he goes, right, that makes a bit more sense.
Wow.
And
then his injuries. Bruce, we had a cork leg, and then Rich with a shin, and a Cluggage with the noggin.
Next game, mate, you can take this one. And, I was sitting back having a few pre-drinks, watching an absolute shootout of a show. This
I'm gonna relax when I say this one out because my man kicked double figures. So we had the Adelaide Crom 27-12, 174, defeating the flat pancake West Coast Eagles 8-4, 52 by then. This win was 122 points. And there was over 100 points at three-quarter time, so they just kept piling it on throughout the fourth quarter and just making the West Coast Eagles look embarrassing. Goal kickers, my man, he is pouring beers behind the forward pub and is the Tex Walker, the Texan kicking a solitary 10, and then Rankin with 3, Phil Thorpe with 2, Sloan with 2, Scholl with 2, Murphy with 2, Fogarty with 2, Sleo, Rochelle, Pedler, and Keys all with 1 as well. Then for the Eagles, we had Merrick with 2, Williams, Rochelle, Kelly, Gaff, Darling, and Allen all with 1 as well. And then for the disposals, for the Crom, we had Laird, robbed of a Brownlow with 34, Dawson with 32, and not forgetting Keys with 29, 2 goal assists, 10 score moments, as well as 7 inside 50s on top. And then we had Elliot Yeo with his 30 and 5 clearances. Very good for a 122-point loss. And then with Tim Kelly doing what he should have been doing at Geelong with 27 touches, 8 inside 50s, as well as 6 score involvements. Talking points, Trick.
A day to remember for the big Texan on his 250th. He had kicked 10 goals too. He had 21 disposals. He had 17 score involvements. 11 marks and 603 metres gained. We watched the first half at my mate's house having a few drinks, and we were going, oh, how can you do it? And when he got to about 5, we were screaming the house down. And then he got to 6, and he kicked a 7th right before the halftime sign. Did we jump up and about going, oh, my God.
Oh, I bet you the whole of South Australia would have done the same too, except Port fans, of course. But Adelaide kicked the highest score of the 2023 season. 174. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's amazing. It's good to see goal kicking's not dead. It's not dead.
Oh, no. And when you're accurate, it pays off.
Now, Ryan Marich, who debuted, he's actually from the Druin Football Club as well, coming from Gippy Power, kicked 2 goals on his debut and joined the First Kick First Goal Club. Do you happen to know this fellow or not?
No, I don't know him, but I know he lives very close around the area as my neighbour across the road. Give him a bit of a shout out. His name is Seb, and he plays for the Gippy Power and does play for him with Druin as well. And Ryan Marrick did play for Box Hill Hawks as well.
Yeah, I know. Amazing.
Very good. And then for the injuries, we had Foley with a hamstring. Anything to add on to that game, Tricky?
Not if you haven't got anything, mate.
No, not at all.
Saturday night,
here we go.
We had Fremantle versus Richmond. Now, 10-10-70, defeated by 12-13, 85, 15 points. They did get the win, but, geez, they had some things to come later, the Tigers. Anyways, goal kickers, you had Jai Amos with 4, Walters with 2, Tracy Brayshaw Sturt and 5 with the 1. And then you had, for the Tigers, you had Short with 3, Revolt with 2, Taranto with 2, Bolton, Mansell, Ross, Nankervis, and Clark with the 1. Disposals, you had my boy Caleb Sarong with 31, 12 inside 50s, 9 clearances, 6 tackles, and 631 metres gained, while Brayshaw had 29, go along with 5 clearances. Aish had 26. Johnson, the young fella, had 25, 7 clearances, and 6 tackles. Now, for the Tigers, this guy is putting together an unreal season. 35 touches for Taranto, 2 goals, 7 clearances, and 7 tackles. But this guy absolutely turned it on in the last quarter and was probably the reason they won in the end. Shea Bolton with 33, 11 inside 50, 6 clearances, and 925 metres gained. So was making the most of all the kicking he was doing. Cochin also had 28 with 7 clearances. Presti had 27 with 7 clearances. Dusty Martin also had 27. He was very good. And Vlosten had 26 with 92% efficiency. 12 marks and 9. It just says, Holty, do you want to take some talking points?
Absolutely, I will. So Luke Jackson as the standalone ruckman was very good with 33 hitouts and 23 disposals. My God, that's a very important game for a ruckman.
I thought, he might struggle, but he showed to do a lot. He did lose the hit out. I think it was 47-33, but he's Nankervis. He is a big boy.
Oh,
But
he's
around
backed it up with 23 touches,
exactly.
so he's done quite well around the ground.
The only thing is he kicked 0 goals too. So imagine if you flipped that around to 2 goals, would have been a bit more interesting. Although I still would have lost by 3 points.
Absolutely.
But uh,
Absolutely.
Fremantle came home hard after trailing by 36 points late in the third quarter. They kicked 6 of the last 8 goals when Shea Bolton, after a magnificent game in slippery conditions, sealed the game with a goal. It was absolutely unreal going back and watching some of the highlights, how good his ball skills and his ball handling skills were in those slippery and wet conditions. He's just on another level when he's on his best, at his best.
Oh, absolutely. When he uses that ball right, he knows what he's doing around the ground and how to deliver it onto a forward's chest or even kick the goal himself. But I have to agree, it was a shocking round for tips, and this just made my weekend worse.
Exactly, yeah. And
Oh, not very good.
Tim Taranto's putting together another excellent season as well.
Oh, absolutely. And then with injuries, we'd had, I think it's Ash with a concussion.
And we move on to Sunday, Holty.
Oh, gee whiz, a very exciting game. This was two very exciting teams. North Melbourne, the GWS Giants, the big, big sound, defeating the Kangaroos 103 to North Melbourne's 11-9-75 by 28 points. And then goal kickers for the Kangaroos, we had the big Ganako Sublaki with 4, Thomas with 3, Spicer, Wardlow, Ford, and Powell all with 1. And then just the usual of Tom Green, not Tom Green, Toby Green with 3, Brown with 3, Riccardi with 2, Bedford with 2, Hogan, he's still outside of the pub.
There's another 2.
O'Halloran.
Along with 17 disposals, may I add.
Oh my goodness, Roaston and Wardle with 1, and then for the Kangaroos we had Zebra with 30, Shields with 29, and Hall with 25 as well. And then Tom Green with 26, 8 score involvements, and then with Ward, which is putting a very consistent season in with 26 as well. Talking points, trick.
Now, George Wardlow, he's looking like a breath of fine light. Just the way he goes about. He has the class on the outside, but then inside he's an absolute bull. Now, he kicked his first AFL goal on the weekend. This went along with 22 disposals, 9 tackles, and 6 clearances. What do you see in him? What do you like, if you do like the way he's playing at the moment?
Oh, just exactly what you just said. He's just a nice breath of fresh air and just young talent in the team, which is great to see. Very high in fitness by the looks of it, with 22 disposals, 9 tackles, and the 6 clearances. Definitely has an input, and if he keeps going like that, I reckon he'll have a big future.
And how good of a player and leader, may I add, is Toby Green?
Oh, yeah.
24 disposals he had with 3 goals, 8 score involvements, and 5 clearances. People write him off because of a lot of the suspensions he goes, and he's a very competitive person. But you can't knock the player he is. He's an elite player, and he's proven to be now an elite captain of the GWS Giants Football Club. What do you agree with that statement?
Oh, absolutely, I do. I just reckon he's a very flexible and versatile player, Toby Green, and he's done it quite well inside that forward 50, and that's exactly what you expect from your captain too, to light the ground up and sort of glow everyone else that's on there as well. So he's done that quite well, and I hope he keeps doing it. Not against Geelong, though.
Moving on to Carlton versus Essendon. And this is sickening to read this out. 6-16, that part of it is sickening. 52, Carlton defeated by Essendon 13-8, 86, 34 points. Goal kickers, you had Curnow with 2 goals, but he copped a bit of Harry Mackay's jiggles in front of goal, I think. He kicked 2 goals, 4. Martin and Owies, Sincotta and Mackay are the 1. Now, Peter Wright on return, kicked 5. Menzies with 2. Langford, Merritt, Phillips, Guelphy, Snelling, Caldwell all with the 1. Disposal, you had Sam Walsh with 35. Chera 31, 10 score involvement, and Doherty 27. For the Bombers, you had Martin with 30, 8 score involvements, and 7 clearances. Caldwell with 25, 7 clearances, and 6 tackles. And we do have a voice message incoming.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Let's hope this isn't too loud.
Oh, no. Oh no! Oh, he's not. He's not blasting Essendon, is he?
No, he's not blasting Essendon. Just let me. For some reason, it disconnected me from the roadcaster. All right. Now, if we go again.
Oh,
Why is it not working?
well, I'll keep talking while
My drive
Oh, there we go.
to work.
Go.
G'day, boys. One more thing. Just need to get this off my chest because it's ruining my day. My drive home, my drive to work every single day. I'm an avid listener of SEN, and I'm goddamn sick of Carlton supporters ringing up and fucking complaining. Carlton, you need to pick your shit up and start performing. You have a decent list. But seriously, you suck right now. Absolutely suck. There's some players on that side that need to pick up their shit. I can't believe I'm going to say this, Trick, because I love this man. But Paddy Cripps, what are you doing? Do you need a spell in the Magoos? Seriously, I can't believe I said that. Jesus.
Yeah.
Next one, Sam Walsh. Start having an impact on a game. What you had on Sunday night, 1 clearance and I think 2 tackles. That's deplorable out of 35 possessions. I think he even had like 2 score involvements. Trick, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's disgusting. Look at Zach Merritt tagged. He was still played a decent game, was impactful with like 18 touches. Seriously, Sam Walsh, you need to pick your game up. And Harry Mackay, I don't care. You're 6'7". Learn how to fucking kick a set shot. If you can't do that, go to the back line like your brother and fuck off. Next thing, match review panel, absolutely outstanding once again. Thought you were spot on with all your calls. Keep going. I think you're doing a great job week in, week out. And just to end on it, suck shit, India, for losing another ICC final. That's still funny as fuck. All right, see you, boys.
Oh, God. Sorry. No,
humorous as always.
how's him getting the match review panel in there?
Oh, absolutely. But I'm very surprised he didn't mention Peter Wright's 5 goals. That's terrible.
It's coming up later, mate. Don't you worry.
Oh, no.
So I think that's enough to touch on Connor's thoughts of the game. We'll move to Monday. Do you want to take it? I don't mind. If you don't. You can take it.
Oh, you sure?
You can take it. I don't care. I'll chime in, but.
Here we go. So Monday, the famous Big Freeze, King's birthday match now, Melbourne v Lollingwood. And here we are.
Cut him off. I put him on mute. He's talking, but no one can hear him because he's on mute. No one can hear him. Nah, we're not getting that Lollingwood slander. You're back on, mate.
And then this is also sickening to read as well, with the D's having 8-18. That's just definitely appalling. So 8-18 at 66, defeating Collingwood with the 9-8-62. Accurate as always, Collingwood have they been all season. So with the goal kickers for the D's, we had Fritsch with 3, Smith, Neil Bullen, Grundy, Viney, and Van Ruin all with 1 as well. And then for Collingwood, we had Lipinski with 2, Mychek, Hill, Cox, Nick Dacos with a very important goal, and also with Chris, Harrison, and McCreary with 1 as well. And then for the disposals for the D's, with man of the match and the Big Freeze trophy with Viney with 32, 19 contested of those possessions, and then 11 tackles, 9 clearances, and 7 score involvements. That is definitely a very impactful game from skipper Viney. And then Petrarca with 28, 7 tackles, 6 clearances, and then with Hunter with 28, a name that's definitely come up into the ranks with the D's with 9 inside 50s and 610 metres gained. And then for the Pies, we had Tom Mitchell absolutely putting on a consistent season here with 30, and then Chris with 28, and Nicky Dacos with 27, just the usual for him, and 6 tackles, and then Taylor Adams with 27 as well. Very defensive with 8 tackles as well, and then Scott Emblebury with 26, Maynard with 25. Talking points, Trick.
Pat Lipinski, first game back and kicks the first goal of the game. That was a good sight to see.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
I was up and about a bit after that because we have missed his dash and his use of the ball coming inside 50, I thought.
Oh, yeah. I think, haven't you got back a fair few players from injury, don't you?
We're coming back or we've got some back?
got some back because I think you.
Yeah, we got Lipinski back. That's the main one. Lipinski and McStay's pretty much ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But
Cool.
we need McStay
Oh,
back in, I think.
did you get Darcy Cameron's been in there for a
Oh, yeah,
while?
Darcy
hasn't he?
Cameron last week, I believe. But
Yep.
I think Dan McStay needs to come back in just to free up the structure we've got going down there.
Absolutely. And
He's not going to.
also-
I don't think he's going to kick you your bag, but he just helps out that forward structure with the Maya checks and that. He can take the load off them.
Oh, absolutely. And also with skipper Jack Viney was huge and was awarded, as I said, the Neil Danaher medal. I think I said trophy, but it is a medal for best on ground as well. Even though he had an important game, I have to say, Collingwood, yet again, the fourth quarter experts couldn't get it done, but they were still in contention and shook the boots of Melbourne Demon fans, I bet. And
But
also,
one thing on that, importance to Craig McRae, the way he conducts himself and handles himself is amazing. Did you happen to watch a bit of clips of his post-game press conference?
oh yeah,
So the thing that stood out to me was, even though we came back in that last quarter, he said that wasn't enough. He thought we were too safe in the last quarter, and we didn't take the game on as much as we had, like we did in the last 5 minutes. He said, at the end of the day, I'd rather lose by 10 goals, die trying, than lose by as much as we did. He thought it was a good effort. The last 5 minutes is the way we should have played the whole time. So just the comment when he said, I'd rather lose by 10 goals and die wondering than lose by 1 goal really stood out to me, I thought. Just the way he coaches and loves to take it on and leaves no stone unturned.
very good, very good. And Brodie Grundy's first match against his old side. What do we think of that from a Collingwood supporter point of view, Tricky?
Oh, it hurts seeing him in different colours, but I mean, I'm liking the come up of Darcy Cameron at the same time. I'm thinking he's coming a very handy player.
And did you boo?
Not for my TV, no.
Did you boo in front of the TV?
Why would you boo in front of the TV?
Did you boo?
Who sits at home and boos to their TV? Let's be real.
Oh, I might squeeze out a little boo. Injuries, Tomlinson with his hand as well. He's basically a walking injury at this point, and Moore. Is that Darcy Moore?
Yeah, but he came back.
an ankle.
Everyone that did did an injury all came back on, because Viney had an injury scare as well, but he came back on. Adams had a bit of an like corky, but he came back on. But everyone pretty much came back on. Any other last thoughts on the game, did you think, before we move on to our next segment?
I just want to say that was probably the best game of the whole weekend, and very good.
I'd argue the Western Bulldogs put Adelaide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd argue that one.
Yeah,
I
okay.
thought
Yeah.
Collingwood, and this is not even me being biased, I thought we didn't look very good at all.
Yep.
We didn't play to the best of our ability. I know there was sickness going around in the camp, but that's no excuse. Like they said, they don't want to use that as an excuse. But I just didn't think we looked at our best at all.
Well, I'm glad you've admitted that they didn't use the excuse of the sickness, because Chris Scott likes to use that in the preliminary final in 2021 that we all had diarrhea in the finals, and yeah.
Funny enough, Mason Cox actually said today, did you know early in the week he actually had COVID.
Oh,
because
disease.
they asked him on his podcast today. Was there a bit of sickness? He goes, "Yeah, we don't like to use that as an excuse." He goes, "But for example, I had COVID on Monday, so that wasn't very fun." But he goes, "Melbourne
been in isolation."
He goes, "Melbourne outplayed us," but apparently there's just a lot of sickness going around the Collingwood Football Club.
Well, like Max Gawn said at the post game as well. I think he was on the microphone. I don't know who it was with Channel 7, but that's what happens when two very good defensive teams come together. It's going to be a low scoring game, and I reckon I argue it was the best game of the weekend, I reckon, and a great set for the Big Freeze game, and weren't the sliders going damn good.
Yeah, they were. Who was your favourite, do you reckon?
Possibly Aaron Finch.
Do you like
I
Finchy?
thought that was good. Finchy was quite good. He dressed up as Captain Feathersword from the Wiggles.
He was scared up the top.
Oh, yeah.
He was shitting himself.
Yeah.
I liked, it's probably an obvious one, but I liked Eric Banner.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah, he was good.
Carl Dittrich, that was really good. And he got into the theatre of it all and everything. I really liked that.
I reckon that was good too.
Who was the worst, do you think? I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who was the worst?
Worst. Oh, I'm going to say Chief Dunstall.
You reckon he was the worst?
Oh, he wasn't that great.
No?
I was expecting a bigger splash at the bottom.
Everyone's going to call me sexist, but I thought Michelle Payne wasn't great.
Oh,
I didn't think
not
she.
too bad.
I don't know if it's just her personality, but like she didn't like show much. If that makes
Oh,
sense.
yes.
I don't know.
I
That
get
might
what
be
you mean.
that might have been her. That might be her personality. She's just not that up and going person. But that's the
Yeah.
only thing. Like I thought everyone else was pretty much a bit up and going. She was a bit more on the down. That's it.
I
That's
reckon the Chief was the worst. I was expecting the whole water to go out of the bottom of the whole bloody pool when he went down, but he made a little bit of a pin drop. That was it.
But the other thing we didn't touch on, did you see? Was it Thursday night when there was a streak go? Have you got across to listening to BT's commentary of that?
I haven't, but I have seen it come up on TikTok and all that, but I haven't actually fully listened to it. Was it good?
Oh, it was amazing. I want to see if they've got just literally the commentary. If you keep talking for a bit, I could probably search up. Let me see BT's commentary of Streaker. It is unreal. Because he was on. Here we go. No, not found page. Here we go. It's taking me to Twitter here.
Here we go.
He's running with straight leg.
No, we won't do that one. Let's try this one again. But we are moving on. Connor has sent us our Andrew Phillips team of the year.
Yes, I'd like to hear this.
But I really wanted to see this. Maybe this one is it.
Ooh.
Maybe this one is it. Let's have a look. We'll see if we can get much of this.
Oh boy, they converge on him. One's gone down. There's 15 men dressed in black out there, and he's going to beat them all to the other side of the ground. And up the race he goes. He's gone away from them all. He's beaten them all. He's gone from one side of the ground to the other. 15 men dressed in black chase after him. Come over there and stiff neck.
How good? How good is that?
I couldn't believe how he got over the fence quite smoothly and went up the race quite good as well.
Yeah.
That was quite funny.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing call. The way he did it. Let me see if I can actually find the full call. Because I'm sure they would have put it on their socials.
Well, while you are finding that, I want you to click my button, please.
Yes.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, go for it, mate. Hold his blow up.
Oh, here we go. I am very, very angry. I'm not going to shout because the parents are just out there in the kitchen cooking dinner, but I'm going to say loud and clear. Indian fans and Indian cricket base,
Woohoo!
sore losers.
Yep.
Sore losers. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to all the Indian cricket fans out there and your fan base and the whole cricket association of India. Guess what? You lost. Losers. Sucked in. Losers. Don't go complaining about ball tampering. Don't go complaining about the catch because I bloody tell you, I don't have 20/20 vision. I'm quite blind because I need the glasses and the contacts. And I saw the ball was in his hand the whole time before he touched the ground. So guess what, Indian fans? Suck shit. You lose. That's another final you've lost. And you've lost 0. You've won 0, actually, out of your last 8. So that's a shame. So Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Now, let's do our next cue.
Phillips, great grab. He's been so impressive this bloke.
First squaller. Phillips off the ground. Goal. Oh, the big goal. Oh, good tackle on that occasion by Phillips. Aggressive tackle it was by Phillips.
Now, welcome in the leader of the Andrew Phillips Team of the Year call, Mr. Connor Murphy.
Ooh.
G'day, fellas. Welcome to Andrew Phillips Team of the Week. Obviously, I couldn't make it into the studio today due to some things, but obviously I thought I'd give you guys a voice message with my selections for this week. Now, well done, Trick, on last week's selections. They were quite nice. Very happy with them. Well done.
Do you recall who they were, just before I go on? Do you recall? I went Matty Rao was one of them, and I can't remember. It was from the same game. It was Matty Rao, but Matty Rao ended up winning it. So that's just for that.
Well done. That's definitely a good addition.
Expecting you to slot in some Collingwood players there for sure in my absence, but we know there's no Collingwood players allowed in the Andrew Phillips at the minute. Obviously, going into this week, with no real surprise, let's be honest, the 2-metre, 7-seater patio heater, he's back, slotted in nicely on Sunday night with a big 5 straight. Absolutely, he is the definition of an Andrew Phillips Team of the Year, to be honest. Really not given the opportunities of the Gold Coast. They let him go for, a 4th-round pick for us. We picked him up. Last year, B and F for him. This year, on return from injury with a 5. So he is choice number 1 for the listeners. Now,
this next one for you guys listeners, as Connor will say, is very controversial. Holty's going to be a big fan of it, but it's very controversial. So just brace yourself, listeners.
I'm going to get a bit of stick for this, but Holty brought up a good option in the chat earlier, and I'm going left field, different sporting code, but I think it'd slot nicely in the centre. Big Scotty Boland. Now, I don't know if you guys watched the Test Championship. I certainly did. I stayed up to all hours of the day watching this, and fantastic. Well done to the Aussies. Absolutely great. Suck shit, India. Guess it's true you really can't win ICC trophies unless you're playing on doctored pitches. Maybe we should stop doctoring pitches in India, hey? Anyway, Scotty Boland is my second pick. 3 wickets in the second dig. Absolutely won us the game. I think he was the pick of the bowlers for me. He's just a superstar. 6 on debut at the G a couple of years ago. Then he slotted nicely. If he is not a bolter and he's not starting on Friday for the Ashes, I'm going to flip my shit. So, Listeners, you've got the 2-metre, 7-seater patio heater or big Scotty Boland this week.
What do you think of those suggestions there?
Well, I reckon just put both of them in. Scotty Boland can be coach.
Scotty Boland, how is he going? I reckon he'd fit well in the centre. Where's the centre come from? I'm thinking more of a back pocket player, if you're being honest. He's got the build to be a nice aggressive defender, lockdown defender.
Put him on the half forward, because I reckon he can just bowl the ball onto someone's chest on a lead.
Yeah, just bringing those whipping around the corners, the bending drill passes or the bending outside 55 on the boundary, bringing it back on the left.
Imagine him reading out the team at the end of the year.
And then going, in the centre, he's the real heart of the team. He's got the skill set of everything. He's someone that everyone loves. He just puts everyone on the back of his shoulders, and I reckon he's going to kick at least 4 and get 40. And, geez, he's just a player to watch. He's the future Brownlow medalist. It's going to be Scotty Boland.
Oh, God. I put that in as a joke.
Yeah, I know you did, but he went for it. How did I know he was going to bite onto that?
Oh, my God. Oh, God. I reckon if I would have said Pat Cummins, he would have brought onto that too.
Yeah, he would have brought onto that. If it wasn't that, he'd label him again as the sexiest man on the planet. But
oh, God.
Next one we've got, as I said, I am not doing my super coach until after the bye rounds because I thought it's just a bit I'm not super coach, sorry. Rolling All Australian is the word I'm looking for, not super coach. I'm not doing the Rolling All Australian to after so I can get everyone playing, just a couple of weeks break to give it like a mid-season one. But I am still doing a team of the week, so I believe was that round 13 just passed? Was that round 12? It was 13, wasn't it?
Yes, was 13.
Round 13, team of the week. Now, let's start off with the full back line I'm going with from the Port Adelaide Football Club. I'm going with Kane Farrell. Full back, I've gone Callum Wilkie. And the other pocket, I got Nick Vloston. My half back line is Wanganeen Malira, James Sicily, and Jack Sinclair. Across my centre line, I've got Nick Martin, Jack Viney, and Lockie Hunter on the other wing. My half forward line is Dustin Martin,
Yep.
2 metre, 7-seater, patio heater, Peter Wright, centre half forward, and Toby Green, the other half forward. My full forward line is Isaac Rankin, and my full forward is the big Texan, Tex Walker.
Oh,
And in the other pocket, I've got Dylan Moore for his 2 goals and 25 touches. Now, in my midfield, I've got Rowan Marshall as the ruckman,
yep.
and my ruck rover and rover are both from the Tigers. I've got Tim Taranto and Shea Bolton as my rover.
Oh,
I thought
very good.
I did have Rory Laird there, but I couldn't leave out Bolton after his magnificent last quarter that won in the game.
Oh, you've robbed him as a team of the week and now as a
No.
Unbelievable.
I've robbed him of a starting position. As we move to the interchange, this one might surprise you, but I thought it was hard not to knock this young fella's game. He's a local boy. My first interchange player is Connor McDonald.
Oh,
Team of the week. So I thought it was a bit of a left field, that one, but he played exceptional. Another one I have is Mitch Owens.
oh yes.
Rory Laird.
Oh,
See, I didn't rob him of the team of the week. I had him starting, but I said I couldn't knock Bolton's last quarter performance. I thought that sealed him in that position there. Jai Newcomb, and my sub is Jordan Ridley. So what do you think of that team? Anyone stiff that you can notice off the top of your head?
Florent?
Yeah, I did have Florent written down, so I wrote down possible defenders. Florent was there, but I just thought I thought Wanganeen, Malira and Sinclair had more of an impact on the game off a halfback flank. If I was going to put Florent in the team, it would be off a halfback, and I just thought Wanganeen, Malira and Sinclair were a bit better.
Did you read out Butters?
No, that is someone that I did, and I must have accidentally left out because normally I would have Butters in there. On reflection, I'd change Butters and Newcomb.
Oh, okay. And also, did you read out Sicily?
Yes, I had Sicily at centre half back. So now Butters is one I've accidentally left out. So now that I clip this, I'll go back to the team of the week. Interchange now. We have got Connor McDonald, Mitch Owens, Rory Laird, Zach Butters, and my sub is Jordan Ridley. That's just so for the TikToks I can clip that better because that's a mistake. I've accidentally left Zach Butters out because he's 100% should be in the team. Now,
and then the rolling all Australian. This is where I like.
No, if you were listening, Holty, just went one in one ear, went out the other. I'm doing that after the bye rounds are done.
Oh, I thought that was Supercoach. My bad.
Yeah, no, I did say Supercoach at first, but that was my mistake. But we move on to a bit of Supercoach. We'll do a bit of Supercoach because I know you like hearing how your Port Adelaide Powder went.
Absolutely.
So
I hope it's been doing good.
Let's load up the Supercoach here. I actually came up against Connor.
Oh.
And a very interesting result.
Oh.
I won't tell you whose way it went as of yet. Oh, no, maybe it was last week I went up against Connor. But anyways, yeah, it was last week. Oh, yes. So on this week's edition of the Up the Guts Supercoach, we had Riles come up against Port Adelaide Powder. Riles, 2,045. Defeated Port Adelaide Powder, 2,044. 1 point. 1 point.
Oh.
Oh, that's heartache. Now, next match, we had Mavs team and Coke with Ginnivan. Mavs team 2003 was defeated by Coke with Ginnivan. Our very own Connor, 2,114, takes the W there.
Oh.
In it to win it, 2,160, defeated 4 left, 2,109. Fill-in 2008, defeated Bailey Sniff, 1,940. Wannabe Cuz, 1,739, was defeated by Calculations Go Hard, 1,867. Demonstrative, 1,790, defeated Bloods and Crips, 1,571. Frothy's Fray, 1,748, was defeated by Chickadees, 2,017. And Tricky's Troops, 2,122, defeated Dallas Domination 2000, who was not long ago. He was second on the ladder, and he's a very good mate of mine. He was actually one of the boys I went out with Saturday night. So
yes.
now that I think about it, I do remember him saying that I had him. I want to see why. That's where I would have got him. I captained Tim Taranto. That got me 272, and he captained Paddy Cripps for some reason. He must have thought that he was going to have a good game. Who else scored well for me? Oh, Josh Dunkley, but we both had him. Oh, Nick Martin I brought in last week, so that was a great bringing to the side by me. He scored 139 for me. But
Very handy.
Let's finish off with our tips now. I have got the tally going at the moment. I can read it out to you right now how we are all
Please
going.
do. Wouldn't have been good.
We'll start off with, so last week we all got 4.
Oh,
We're going to start off with third position as we talk. Third position on 55, which is shocking, may I add, is Mr. Connor Murphy.
oh God.
In second place on 63 is Holty. And in first place on 73 is Tricky.
Jesus, you're ahead. You're ahead by a full round and a half.
It would have been those couple of weeks I reckon you missed, didn't send it in and got the away teams. I reckon that might have been what cost you. But all it takes is a couple of bad weeks from me and a couple of good weeks from you to make a pounce back to into consideration to take home the bragging rights of our tipping competition. But without further ado, let's get our tips for the next round. Thursday night, your screen's frozen, but I'm assuming you can still hear me.
I can.
Yeah, all right, you're back now. There we go. Thursday night, we have got Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval against your Geelong Cats. Are you backing in your boys or are you going to go against them?
I will unfortunately go against them.
I will also go against them, sorry.
I will go Port.
I think this might be a good game, though.
It will, I reckon.
The second game of the week, a Friday night game, we have got Brisbane and Sydney at the Gabba. I'm going to go with Lions. They will want to make a statement after their loss to the Hawks.
Absolutely.
I reckon this will be a big win. I
will be going the Lions. The Lions as well.
Saturday, we have got GWS and Freo at Giants Stadium. This could be a good game, you know. I might back Giants. Just
I'll back Freo.
Then at the MCG, the Saturday night game, we have got Richmond and St Kilda at the G. Richmond are coming.
They are.
But I'm still going to go St Kilda.
I've got to bite the bullet, but I'll go St Kilda.
How are you biting the bullet if I'm going St Kilda too?
I just thought to myself, I've got to bite the bullet, but St Kilda's the better side, so I've got to go.
So
St.
you went to go Richmond, and then we're like, nah. Next on Sunday, we have got Carlton, who is sickening to read out in 15th position against Gold Coast at the G. Is this the week that they finally put their foot down? I think it has to be.
Yes.
Good. I'm going Carlton.
I will be going Carlton too.
And then the last game of the round, we have got North Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs at Marvel. I will go the Doggies.
Oh, I will go.
Here he goes.
Yeah, oh my God. See, I reckon they got. Oh, so it's very competitive when it comes to North Melbourne because they're that side that can really turn a game on. So where they play on the weekend at Marvel as well. Oh no, they play down in Tassie. Oh, jeez. Oh, Doggies.
And then on the buys, we have Adelaide, Collingwood, Essendon, Hawthorn, Melbourne, and West Coast. All right, mate, that's going to just about wrap it up. But before we go, we do have a big announcement. We do have a guest coming on, do we not?
Who is that?
We do have a former AFL player coming on this weekend and will be out next week. And he played for the North Melbourne Football Club. He played for the Brisbane Lions Football Club.
Oh.
He's now playing football at the Pearsdale Football Netball Club. We have got Ryan Bastanak coming on the podcast next week. So that is very exciting, that one. I don't know about you, but I'm very excited to get him on and pick his brain and have some fun with him because he seems like a really good bloke. He said he's going to bring over a couple of beers too, and we're going to sit down and have a couple of beers. So it could be interesting.
He would be. He would be a person that brings a slab.
So he said he'll bring a 6-pack, and because he has this thing also called Brews with Basti, I think it is, or Basti's Brews, where I actually did one with the Pearsdale boys on the weekend because I told them how I was going to have it, and they're like, "Give us a brew rating for Basti," and they recorded me and sent it to Basti on Snapchat, and it's where you make a drink. It could be alcohol, could be just soft drink, just like weird combinations, or just a normal drink even, and then you just give it a brew rating. What rating out of 10? So what do? I scaled a vodka raspberry. I think I gave it an 8.5 because anything tasted good at that point. So I would have rather the vodka Red Bull, and then I think what JP got in on it too. He had might have been a vodka pineapple or vodka sunrise. I think he gave it a 5. So very excited to get Ryan Bastanak on the podcast. So stay tuned for that. That will be out next week as well as our normal episodes. But until then, cheers for listening, guys. Always make sure you put your notification bells on all our social media platforms and stay tuned. We'll put our poll out for any questions you want us to ask Basti on our Instagram story. So make sure you're getting your questions. So anything you want to be asked gets asked. Until next week, cheers, guys.